That's a very good question. What makes Americana's drug irresistible? I never thought of that, but I kind of did. I believe that fundamentally, at the very essence of humanity, there's a primary lesion, there's a disease. In the Bible, they refer to it as the original sin. And in my own personal studies, I've been focused, dare I say, almost exclusively on this primary lesion. We've talked about this in other videos. You can go check them out if you'd like. But at the end of the day, that primary lesion is what that's why humans die. And no matter where they are in the world, even if it's thousands of years ago, they're afflicted by a disease, which is death. And how they manage to survive according to their time is unique, right? So you're in the middle of, I don't know where, and this is how we survived. The point was always to survive, and reproduction is, dare I say, the most important aspect of survival. Everything we do is in order for us to reproduce, which is our way of not dying. But the core of the disease is death. And what Americana promises is immortality. So Americana is not the right word, but I'll use that for the sake of conversation. It secretly promotes immortality. A, you'll become as a god. What does it mean, a god? I'm all powerful. Namely, I'm not going to die. 2, via our science, you too will become immortal. C, via our sciences, you can be whatever the fuck you want. Who can be whatever the hell he wants besides the God? God can take any form, any shape, can morph, can instantly be a man, a bird, a giraffe, a blade of grass, a cigarette bud. That's God. God can be omnipresent everywhere at the same time, yet nowhere, yet there. And that's what the science offers the commoner, that power of achieving some kind of godhood. So when you sit back and relax, because maybe it makes sense to you and maybe it doesn't, if it does, sit back and relax and see what's evolving. Well, number one, through the process, because of the primary lesion, the disease is increasing. Symptoms are increasing. So once upon a time, I don't want to even get into that debate. The disease is getting, people are suffering more and more. I'll simplify it like this. And people are needing more and more to achieve this goal of immortality. And slowly but surely, the sciences are now, soon will be able to cure your disease. All of them, without exception. Soon you'll be able to choose how you want to have a child, what the child is made of. Soon you'll be able to enter into another world and you can do and be whatever the hell you want. And everybody's heard of this. We can upload you in a machine so you live forever. That's besides the fact that we can modify your biology, mix it with a computer, and you can be all powerful. So I think that at the foundation, the primary lesion, the very fact that one dies is the very thing that makes the whole thing move forward. And Americana is the most effective way to achieve the goal. Now, Americana, I'm not talking about a corporation trying to sell products. I'm trying to say that Luciferian mind that uses Americana to sell products and get people into its agenda. So we kind of like mashed two ideas. I think that's what makes it irresistible. Fundamentally, everybody's afraid of death. It doesn't matter what nonsense they believe in. Deep inside, no matter who you believe in, you're scared of death, you're scared of disease. It's a foundation. You don't have the answer to the basic questions of life that you know for yourself, not that you read in a book. And you're scared to die, and you see the people around you die, and all you see is suffering. People suffer, you grow, you suffer, you get more disease, you suffer. Suffer. So don't tell me that when you're thirsty, the first thing you want to do is drink water. Don't tell me that if you're suffering all the time, the first thing you're not really looking for, although you may not have the solution immediately, is to alleviate your suffering, which is what Jesus Christ represents for the person who's a Christian. So don't tell me humanity at an instinctual level doesn't want to relieve itself from suffering, and that so-called Luciferian mind that uses Americana as one of its limbs promises you and will deliver to those who deserve it no more disease, no more suffering, no more death. and you're free and you can be like a god, that means you are no longer a slave to the laws of nature. You can do whatever the fuck you want and there's no consequence. Now tell me that that's not exactly like God. Whereas you can imagine a God that came here and did whatever they wanted. Super fucking man. The reason so-called Americana has such an effect on people is because the power that runs it, the power that's behind it, the mind that's behind it, is promising a form of freedom that fundamentally every human being, because of a primary lesion or because of the so-called original sin, seeks. They want a solution to death. And that mind, which has created Americana and uses Americana as a limb to manipulate and govern and direct people's sexual energy in order for these humans to build its empire, promises and can and will deliver life everlasting and a paradise on earth. That means no more famine, no more war, no more fighting, no more pain, no more suffering, no more disease, no more seeing the people that you love die, no more having your mom who's pregnant and she dies in birth, or a child coming out and the child has defects, and then you have to suffer with your child all your life because he's got some kind of birth issue. All that can be removed. And then when you birth as a woman, your youthful body, it transforms. No, you don't even have that anymore. You can remain perfect. You can create perfection, hold that perfection, and live perfection. Is that not exactly what God promises? The Luciferian mind, using in now Americana, dare I say, the European, because now European is no longer the people in Europe, but once upon a time, they're the holders of that mind, just like India once upon a time was holder of spirituality. Can get really complex, and it's more complex than what I'm saying. Humor me, let's just simplify, right? They're promising, that Luciferian mind is promising, and is delivering, and will deliver. It's God. That mind is God. Now, what it's going to do with the human resources, it's free to do whatever it wants. It doesn't matter that the sheep are scared to death, and if you promise them, go over there's food, they'll go. They can feel it. And that power is stronger than everything else. I may love Brahma and Vishnu, but I need to get some of that pussy. Now, we can say that some people are resisting and whatnot. Every conversation can get complicated. Just zoom out, look at things, and you'll see for yourself.